Let me tell you about the 7 ways that you can avoid poverty.
You're watching Timeless Talks, timeless subjects, information for life.
Since some of you are watching this on Facebook, I'd like to ask your help in a couple of minor things. How about just using the comments to say hi, or who you're watching it with, or maybe tag someone so they can watch it, or share the video on your own page. The first thing that you can do to avoid poverty begins with this book. What you're going to need to do, and it's real easy, you open up the book to the Book of Proverbs. Yeah, Proverbs. In the Book of Proverbs, you will be amazed, just like I have been, at how much financial advice is here waiting for you. This is the very first thing you can do to avoid poverty, is listen to God's advice about money. The second thing that you can do to avoid poverty is just simply not dream too much. You know, multi-level marketing plans get you to thinking about the dreams that you have, the wishes that for a great big nice car, or a wonderful comfortable home, maybe a lot of land, just whatever you like. And that becomes their driving force to get you to doing the work. But have you considered what God has to say about that? In Proverbs chapter 28, verse 19, it says, "Those who work the land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies will have their fill of poverty." I've been involved with MLMs before, and the one thing I did was I got in a hurry. I wanted to make a lot of money in a great big hurry, rake in all that dough. But God said, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." Yeah, it's good advice for you to not dream too much. The third thing that you can do to avoid poverty is not chase your pleasures. No one likes riding motorcycles more than I do, and I love traveling, especially the long distances, like to California. They happen to go real well together. Maybe yours is not motorcycling or traveling. Maybe you just like hunting or fishing. Some of you ladies may really enjoy going and buying new pairs of shoes. And then you need, a dress or a pair of pants to kind of go with it. And you wear it a couple of times, and then you're going to sell it on eBay or Etsy or try to make some of your money back. But have you considered what God has to say in Proverbs chapter 21? "Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich." Friends, don't chase your pleasures. Number 4, it would be great if you can be someone who is coachable. That is, you can accept correction and guidance from qualified leaders and teachers who will tell you exactly how things work. Sometimes that's not going to be real pleasant or fun, but it may be for the very best. God said this, though, about being coachable. "Whoever disregards discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored." Be someone that's coachable. Number 5 in our list comes back to this good book again. You see, this great book is God's directions for our lives. And if we're listening to his directions, he's going to guide us into right living, also known as righteousness. It makes life wonderful. It gives us hope and joy and peace, all the things we really want. And at the same time, these same words guide us away from the things that are detrimental to us, the things that are sinful, wicked, and are self-destructive, and will put us in poverty. Listen to what God said. The house of the righteous contains great treasure, but the income of the wicked brings ruin. And Proverbs 23:21 says, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Romans 13:11 says, dishonest money dwindles away. And Proverbs 22:16 adds, one who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth, and one who gives gifts to the rich, both come to poverty. Greed will not work, selfishness will not work, and bribery will not work. Those are evil and wicked, and they will fail. The sixth thing that you can do to avoid poverty is something that Mr. Carl always taught us. Talk less and work more. Mr. Carl was my 6th grade teacher, and he really liked us using up our pencils and plenty of paper. We did lots and lots of multiplication tables and division the long way, and lots of writing for English. Mr. Carl's idea of what we ought to do, that is, talk less and work more, echoes what God has said in the Book of Proverbs. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. If you're a person with a job in which you got to complete projects, don't let that thing get tied up in little committees or little groups, none of them which seem to want to get things done or want to take responsibility. Take it away from that, assign the jobs, and try to get something started, even if it's not completely perfect. And then God talks about working more. He says it this way in Proverbs chapter 6. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. That same scripture is identical to Proverbs chapter 24, verses 33 and 34. Exactly the same. But then there's Proverbs chapter 20. Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor. Stay awake, and you will have food to spare. And then there's Proverbs 10. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. It's time for us to talk less and work a little more. And then there's number 7, the final one. This particular idea, when we were looking it up to find out how to avoid poverty, this one idea just kept coming back up. And it's not exactly what you might expect. We might expect, work a lot, or work long hours, or being diligent, but it wasn't any of those. Well, you can understand this one. Let's just read what God has to say. Proverbs chapter 11, verses 24 and 25. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Then there's Proverbs 14 with its 2 references. It is a sin to despise one's neighbor, but blessed is the one who is kind to the needy. And whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. And then don't forget Proverbs chapter 19. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. Don't forget Proverbs 22. The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. And the final two are found in Proverbs 28. The stingy are eager to get rich and are unaware that poverty awaits them. And those who give to the poor will lack nothing. That one's worth repeating again, isn't it? Those who give to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. To avoid poverty, be generous to the needy and to the poor. I'd like to take just a moment to invite you over to timelesstalks.net, a place where you can find timeless information for your life now and for eternity. You'll find free printed materials there from In Search of the Lord's Way. We offer free Bible classes, either individually or in small groups over the internet or in person. You can have access to a confidential prayer request and a contact page where you can ask about this subject or any other Bible subject. And don't forget to fill out that pop-up on the front page, because that will sign you up for our newsletter and register you for a $50 gift card giveaway. That's timelesstalks.net. We're just simply happy that you have taken the time to find information on how you can avoid poverty. At Timeless Talks, we love you. We want the very best for you. We care about your life situations. We would like to hear from you. Use that contact page to let us know. But that's why we end so many of our videos with that silly little hick saying, may the good Lord take a liking to you. Thank you again, and until next time, goodbye for now.